Hello guys, coming back at you with another Commander Deck Tech video. This time we're going to be going over what was voted on by my patrons over on Patreon. In honor of Guilds of Ravnica, we're going to be doing primarily Ravnica block options for this week. Kind of like what we did last week with the Commander Deck Tech and Commander Tips video. Then we did Ravnica options for those. This time they voted on Savra, Queen of the Golgari. She is the 4-mana Elf Shaman in Golgari colors. She's just a 2/2. Whenever you sacrifice a black creature, you may pay 2 life. If you do, each other player is going to sacrifice a creature, so it's kind of like a grave pact. And whenever you sacrifice a green creature, you may gain 2 life. So the green creature sack trigger thing is kind of boring, but it does fuel your life so that you can then pay that same life for whenever you sacrifice a black creature, and then you're able to force your opponents to sacrifice a creature. Now you're going to probably want this deck to be creature heavy. That's at least what my version is. Kind of creature control / aristocrats. I think that's probably the best way to go. And immediately seeing the trigger for black creatures sacrificed should encourage you to play around with grave pact abilities, such as ones with Fleshbag Marauder, Merciless Executioner, and Butcher of Malakir. Any of these creatures get sacrificed, you can just pay 2 life and then force your opponents to have to sacrifice 2 creatures instead of just 1. Spectacular. Your opponents are going to find it difficult to develop any sort of board state. I'm usually a big fan of these whenever we play Golgari, so they tend to be auto-includes for me. I also love, since we're going to be focusing on sacrificing creatures, creature sack outlets like Carrion Feeder, Viscera Seer, Yahenni, as well as Bantu the Glorified. Any creature that can sacrifice another creature. Kind of funny that they're all black as well, so if we absolutely wanted to, at least with Carrion Feeder and Viscera Seer, we can just sacrifice them to themselves and then get a trigger off of Savra. But yeah, having sacrifice outlets on your creatures is going to be fantastic, especially if your opponents are going to try to remove anything on your side of the field. You have responses. You can just sacrifice a creature, force them to sacrifice, or you can just gain some life by sacrificing some green creatures like Caustic Caterpillar, Sakura Tribe Elder, and a Yavimaya Elder. Our strength may not come from our green creatures, but we definitely have some decent value ones in here. We're going to kind of go with aristocrats, so it does make sense why we have Yavimaya Elder in here and the Caustic Caterpillar. We want things that do stuff when they die, but we're also going to be playing stuff like Acidic Slime, Eternal Witness, good value utility creatures that may not have anything to do with sacrificing, but they're just good creatures in green that are going to help us out. One thing in green that I can say is spectacular with this type of deck is Birthing Pod. Not only do you have a sacrifice outlet, but you have a way to get a creature really good from your deck onto the battlefield. So sack outlets, just good value in green here. Now we got to talk about the Golgari. We have to talk about good value cards like the new Poison Tip Archer. Gonna go with the theme of aristocrats, creatures dying, doing stuff. Gerard Golgari Lichlord is another sack outlet. Can be really deadly depending on what creature you have out there. We have the always underrated Death Reap Ritual. Your deck is based around creatures dying, so getting card draw during your end step shouldn't be something you want to give up on. And then one of my favorite cards that I think should be in every single Golgari deck is Journey to Eternity. My favorite combo is just attaching this to a Sakura Tribe Elder, sacrificing it, and then basically ending up with 2 lands and a way to get back that same Sakura Tribe Elder. Really funny. So that's a lot of the power that you can expect out of Golgari. If we're going to go back to black here, I think there's some cards I should mention, like Grim Haruspex. This is aristocrat, so you want to be able to benefit off of your creatures dying. Getting card draw off of non-token ones you control dying is going to help refill your hand. And for a lot of the similar reasons that you're playing Grim Haruspex, you're probably going to want to play Harvester of Souls. So more incentive to pay that 2 life, force each opponent to sacrifice a creature. That way you're drawing way more cards. And if you're looking for more creatures to sacrifice, Endrick Sar Master Breeder. Not one of my favorite cards in Commander, but definitely if you want to get some more tokens and get a sack trigger, if you control 7 or more, Endrick Sar is good for that. And then one of the newer cards that you can put into this deck from Dominaria is Whisper Blood Liturgist. You can sacrifice 2 other creatures, bring a creature back from your graveyard to the battlefield. That is pretty nice. So you have a lot of value here. You have a lot of ways of sacrificing creatures, getting card draw off of it, or getting creatures back from your graveyard. That's pretty much how you want to play Golgari. Usually with something like Marin, that's kind of what you did anyway, but with this deck the emphasis is entirely around sacrificing, whereas with Marin of Clan Neltop that wasn't always the case. But anyway guys, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Let me know what you think about Savra. As far as the artwork goes, one of my favorite Commander cards. I always love the theme with aristocrats also, so whenever I play with Golgari colors or even Orzhov colors, I tend to want to play with the aristocrat theme, which again is pretty much just getting good value off of your creatures dying. for those of you who weren't familiar with the term. But yeah, definitely going to continue the Ravnica theme deck tech videos, commander tips videos. Going to primarily focus on Guilds of Ravnica after this week of spoilers, guys. So look forward to those. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Voidier signing off. See you all next video.